X-Wing is ready for some space blasting action with today's game, Caverns of Mars. For your Atari 8-bit computer, let's go ahead and take Caverns of Mars. Let's pop it in my Atari XE and see how it holds up today. Let's go to the game. Caverns of Mars was published by Atari, and even though it carries a copyright year of 1981, my research indicates that it may not have been available until early 1982. It was programmed by Greg Christensen, who at age 17 sent into Atari through their Atari Software Acquisition Program, or ASAP, the game. ASAP encouraged programmers to send their programs to them, and if accepted, they could be eligible for cash prizes and royalties for disc and cassette sales through their cheaper bulk publishing as part of the Atari Program Exchange, or APX. Not only was this game accepted by Atari, but it appears to be the first game from the APX to be brought into the Atari mainline, where it was published on both disc and cartridge. Greg would go on to work on several other games, which according to MobyGames.com included some Star Trek games, battle chess games, and even Mario Teaches Typing. Greg made two follow-ups to Caverns of Mars. Phobos played similar to Caverns of Mars and was released through the APX, but didn't enjoy the success of the original. And Caverns of Mars 2, which went horizontal and played like the arcade hit Scramble. It was made before Phobos, but it was renamed Mars Mission 2 and released later through Antic Magazine, who took over publishing games from the APX program in the mid-80s. Caverns of Mars also came to the Atari 2600 officially in two different forms, once as a bonus exclusive game on the Atari Flashback 2. Due to the lackluster results of this port, John Champeau of Champ Games would make his own unofficial homebrew version of the game called Conquest of Mars, which would only recently become an official port of Caverns of Mars for the Atari 2600 that is currently on pre-order at Atari.com and scheduled to come out later this year. The manual opens with the following: Mars has declared war on Terra 4. Martian galactic fleets surround the planet and are demanding its surrender. Luckily, one space fighter has escaped to challenge Mars. The Terra 4 High Command knows that your fighter, the Helicon 7, is the only space fighter equipped to invade Martian headquarters deep within the Caverns of Mars. You have therefore been assigned the dangerous mission of sabotaging the Martian defense system by activating their deadly fusion bomb. This bomb, once activated, will level Martian headquarters within a matter of seconds. Unless you have reached the surface before time runs out, you will be destroyed with their headquarters. Your orders: activate the fusion bomb in the Martian headquarters and get out. Caverns of Mars is a vertically scrolling shooter for one player only, with 4 levels of difficulty. For the controls, you move with the joystick and press the button to fire. You actually fire 2 shots at once, one from each side of your ship, but there is no center shot, which does take a little getting used to. You can hold the button down for continuous fire, but you won't be able to fire again until both original shots are gone. Destroyed objects can leave cloudbursts that can block your shots. As you fly, you burn up fuel. Similar to the arcade game Scramble, you naturally refuel by blowing up fuel containers or enemy ships that have a flashing F on them. Personally, I'm still waiting for real-life technology to allow us to blow up gas pumps to refuel without leaving our cars, but as my gas station still has trouble allowing me to scan the chip of my debit card, I'm guessing we're still a few years away from that. Your goal, no matter the difficulty, is to fly down into the cavern, activate the bomb at the bottom, and escape back to the surface before the timer runs out and the bomb explodes. On all difficulties, you must pass through the first 2 sections, one with a winding opening and a second with a slew of rockets. If playing on novice, you can then touch the bomb to activate it and escape upward. Starting at pilot difficulty, you must also pass reappearing laser gates. Starting at warrior difficulty, you must also face moving and reappearing space mines. And on the highest difficulty, commander, you will then have to navigate narrow corridors to reach the bomb below. Once you activate the bomb by touching it, you will be given some extra fuel. The higher the difficulty, the more fuel you'll get, and you need to escape. During your escape, shooting enemies and many obstacles have been removed, but be aware there are no fuel tanks to refuel either, even if you left some behind during your descent. If the timer runs out before you escape, the bomb explodes and your game ends, even if you have extra lives in reserve. If you do escape, you start over, but the speed and difficulty can increase. If you manage to complete this process 5 times, your game ends in victory, although I do not believe there is any true ending shown. On the bottom of the screen, you can see your score, which section you currently are in, your lives in reserve, your fuel remaining, a flag for each time you've successfully left the cavern, and your difficulty selection. You start the game with 5 lives, and I don't believe there's any way to earn extra lives. You lose a life if you crash into something or run out of fuel. When you do die, you start back at an invisible checkpoint. Scoring-wise, white objects are worth 200 points, red objects are worth 150 points, and you get points for the distance traveled. Graphically speaking, the game looks fine, but it probably won't blow you away. Sound-wise, there really isn't any music in the game, and the sound at the beginning may make you believe that your game is broken at first, but I really dig the UFO flying sound your ship makes. Family-friendly wise, the game would most likely get an E for everyone rating if released today. Currently at PriceCharting.com, the game has a value of $25 loose, $50 complete, and $56 new. So what do I think of Caverns of Mars for the Atari 8-bit computers? Is it worth playing today? Not only will I say yes, but I'd even go so far as to saying it's one of the better original games I've played for the Atari 8-bits. It's really clever how the difficulty basically just adds more levels to the game, and it can become real addictive trying to get deeper and deeper into levels. That being said, it does have many moments of frustration. The size of your ship, clouds that block your shots, and trying to maneuver while the stage scrolls can lead to a lot of deaths. I even found some enemies during the rocket-filled second phase that quickly reappeared after being shot, sometimes right on top of me, leading to a cheap crash. And I never could maneuver well enough to complete a run at the highest difficulty, and similarly struggled when the speed increased when I completed a run on the other difficulties. Nonetheless, despite some of these frustrations, this game is still a lot of fun. It's real easy to constantly want to give this game just one more try to pass some of the many challenges. So where am I going to rank Caverns of Mars among some of the other Atari 8-bit games I've previously reviewed? It's going in my current top 10. I do like pole position a smidgen more at 8, but I will give this an edge over Mario Brothers at 9. So out of the 30 games are now ranked for the Atari 8-bit line of computers, Caverns of Mars is flying into the 9th position. If you are building an Atari 8-bit collection, Caverns of Mars is a great game to add to it. But that's just what I think. What do you think? Do you like this game or have any memories of it? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoy videos such as this one and you want to support my work, please click like and subscribe, drop a comment below, and for Mega supporters, either become a channel member or sign up at patreon.com/NoSwearGamer. Thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to see you next time in the next episode of the No Swear Gamer. Take care and watch out for those narrow corners.